battle over the Dane County Jail consolidation project continues as the county sheriff and county executive look to get it on the spring election ballot.
Also, reaction to the latest January 6th committee meeting and the criminal referrals against former President Trump.
And later, some major changes to be coming to the Madison School District Honors Program, what the school board is set to vote on tonight. Welcome to News 3 Now at 6. Well, good evening. Thanks for joining us. We're going to start with the weather. And right now, unseasonably cold temperatures have gripped southern Wisconsin, and there may be trouble on the horizon.
This is not something to mess with here. Travel conditions for the holidays could be rough by the end of the week with some strong winds and multiple inches of snow heading our way. For more, let's check your certified most accurate forecast with Julian Seawright.
Well, to start things off, Charlotte, we are going to be watching for a winter storm that will be later into the week. As you guys have mentioned, it will be making severe impacts to travel. And folks, make sure that you're adjusting that over the next couple of days, because come Wednesday nights, we're not going to be looking at really optimal or favorable conditions for travel. Now, as we take a look at our winter weather storms, well, we can see that the advisory in itself, the issue is going to be from west of Lone Rock from midnight Thursday into Saturday morning at 6 a.m. So this is going to be a 3-day event from Thursday, Friday into our Saturday that we are going to be watching for. And we even just saw an update of a winter storm watch for parts of northern Illinois that will be in effect throughout that timeline as well. So our winter storm, here's a bit of the breakdown. This is going to be prompting our alert day. Thursday to Saturday is the timeline. We could see some heavy snow, though will be mainly a bigger threat for areas west of Lone Rock. Around Dane County, we could see some moderate snowfall, but the high winds will create some possible whiteout conditions, especially as we're seeing some of that snow really starting to fall throughout much of southern Wisconsin and even parts of northern Illinois. And all of southern Wisconsin, again, is going to be under this alert day for us. But that's just what we're seeing later into the week, which we'll break down again in just a few moments. Right now, we're also watching for what's potentially happening for tonight. We're starting to see development of some light snow and even some flurries starting to roll its way throughout much of southern Wisconsin. That will bring in a little bit more of a dusting for tonight, which is nice decorative snow, especially as we get into the rest of tonight and transitioning into Tuesday. But outside of it, not looking for it to be much in terms of accumulations, especially once it's all said and done. Still cloudy, still cold, but temperatures themselves will actually see slight improvement as we get into the later parts of tonight. And by improvement, I mean we're still going to be below freezing, but at least it will be into the 20s. We'll start to see developments of that snow once again, but it will be light, and it will be mainly flurries and light snow throughout the overnight, so mainly on the decorative side. But we're going to talk more about what's happening for later in the week in just a few moments. Until then, back to you guys.
All right, Julian, thank you. And coming up at 10 with temperatures now dangerously low, Armand Rahman looks at the number of cold-related deaths from years past and how one group is working to keep the homeless out of the cold. And don't forget to download our First Warren Forecast Weather app before the winter storm hits. You'll be able to track it with hourly forecasts and the latest radar. Also has the latest road conditions for those traveling for the holidays. You can download the app for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather.
A lawsuit waiting to happen. Inhumane and unconstitutional. These are just some of the ways portions of the Dane County Jail have been described over the years. Still, a decade later, county leaders have yet to agree on what to do about it. Tahalim Mohideen shares the details around the latest 2 options on the table to put an end to the saga.
Dane County Sheriff Calvin Barrett and Executive Joe Parisi are back where they were in June.
At that time, a referendum was not passed because many of the supervisors believed it could be funded without a referendum.
6 months later, that hasn't happened. And now the pair is asking the county board to
And let the people decide.
wanting members to reconsider putting the jail consolidation project on the April ballot in a binding referendum and put an end to the years-long debate.
What we're proposing and have been supporting is already a compromise that the sheriff has given a lot on. I mean, this is, just enough.
There is another option on the table to close the worst and most outdated of the 3 buildings that make up the jail. Supervisor Andrew Schauer is asking his fellow board members to take $13.5 million from elsewhere in the county budget and use it for the part of the project impacted by inflation.
But this does not delay any other projects. This does not take needed funds from any other projects.
Should costs increase again, they say this proposal has created a budgetary cushion, but the key is striking while the iron is hot.
Part of the reason it's necessary to finally move forward with this project is to get it in there and get the bids done before the price increase even more.
If the board fails to approve the added funds, they would need to make the decision by mid-January to go to referendum in April. The current jail's consolidation proposal is for a 6-story building with 825 beds. The original was 7 stories with 922 beds. In Madison, Tahlil Muhiddin, News 3 Now.
Part of the most outdated building of the Dane County Jail has been closed since August, and dozens of residents are currently in other counties for housing. Sheriff Calvin Barrett says if this continues, it will cost the county roughly $1.3 million over the next year.
Madison police say they arrested a man after he allegedly hit a woman and then wouldn't let her leave his hotel room. Happened Friday on West Dayton Street. The woman told police she was visiting the 35-year-old after the two met on a dating app. She said he blocked her from leaving the room and then hit her. Police say the man called hotel security after the woman locked herself in a bathroom. She was able to leave after security arrived, and he was arrested without incident. He is now facing charges.
The former owner of the Wanakee Vet Clinic, accused of abusing animals, made an initial appearance in court today. A signature bond for Dr. Wesley Arnett was set at $500 per case. He's charged with 6 counts of intentionally mistreating animals. A criminal complaint alleges Dr. Arnett kicked and struck animals in his care at the clinic. His next court date is scheduled for January 31st. The clinic is under new ownership, and Dr. Arnett is no longer a staff member.
Charges are referred to the U.S. Department of Justice against former President Donald Trump.
That is the outcome of months of January 6th committee hearings today. Political reporter Will Keneally has more on the fallout.
So the Select Committee says that the DOJ should charge the former president with a series of counts, including obstructing an official proceeding and inciting an insurrection. But with Republicans taking control of the U.S. House in the new year, the committee's work is all but over. Now the decision on what to do with the charges lies with the Department of Justice, which has also played its part throughout the investigation, enforcing subpoenas, as Representative Adam Schiff explains.
So they can move more swiftly. It appears, based on public reports, they have moved more swiftly. They have been able to obtain testimony from people who refused to cooperate with us.
So along with the work of the committee, the DOJ has done its own investigation into January 6th, issuing subpoenas for local officials, including the Dane County clerk, to see what influence Trump may have had over his work. And we've seen reactions from Wisconsin officials come in the wake of the referral. Wisconsin Democrats have applauded the move, including Madison's Mark Pocan, who says that it's time to, quote, get this criminal off the streets, referring to Trump there. Wisconsin Republicans have largely remained silent, though. And you can see our full recap of the congressional reaction up online at channel3000.com.
2 people were displaced Sunday morning after a house fire in Madison. Crews were sent to the 2600 block of Stevens Street for a fire reported on the back porch of a house. Heavy smoke could be seen from 2 blocks away. Firefighters were able to put out the flames and ensure nobody was inside. Officials say the fire was caused by improperly disposed ashes. The initial damage is estimated to be $320,000.
3 vehicles were damaged Sunday after a rollover crash on Madison's west side. Police were called to the intersection of North Gammon at Old Sauk Road just after 2 yesterday afternoon. A witness said one of the vehicles ran a red light and struck another. A 3rd vehicle was also damaged. No one was taken to the hospital. A 45-year-old was cited after the crash.
Tonight, MMSD students, parents, and faculty are wondering whether 9th and 10th grade honors classes will soon be a thing of the past. The school board's meeting just started a few minutes ago, and that's where we find our McKenna Alexander live to preview what will likely be discussed. McKenna?
Yeah, well, much like any school board meeting, plenty of topics will be discussed tonight, but one subject in particular has spurred plenty of controversy. Now, with this past fall, administrators suggested moving to a universal earned honors system after finding long-standing racial disparities within the current honors program. The universal earned honors system is essentially just one standard class for all students, but if students want more of a challenge, they can complete extra or more difficult assignments to earn an honors designation. The goal of all this is for more diverse experiences and bringing honors programming to general education classrooms. Now tonight at 10, I'll bring you the outcome of this meeting and share whether or not MMSD has decided to change its honors program. In Madison, for News 3 Now, McKenna Alexander.
Still ahead, gas prices are heading in the right direction just before the holidays.
Plus, we revisit a longtime crossing guard and the special way his community is looking to thank him.
Sometimes a cough isn't just a cough, so it's better to be prepared. Binax Now gives you reliable results in 15 minutes and detects multiple variants, including Omicron BA.5. Binax Now, the #1 COVID-19 self-test in the U.S.
Wisconsin, one of those places where families spend their winters among our frozen lakes and snow-covered hills. With all the fun we're having, it's easy to take for granted how we warm up, by the fire or simply adjusting our thermostat. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? It might be simple to imagine for 60 seconds, but for many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. Freezing temperatures aren't just uncomfortable for them, they can be deadly. Make a real difference by providing a hand up for a neighbor in need. No matter the amount, every dollar helps. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
The holidays can be so stressful. So give the gift of wellness with a gift card to Massage Envy, where more people go to look and feel better. Buy $100 in Massage Envy gift cards and receive a free $20 promo card. Massage Envy. Keep your body working.
Sometimes a cough isn't just a cough, so it's better to be prepared. Binax Now gives you reliable results in 15 minutes and detects multiple variants, including Omicron BA.5. Binax Now, the #1 COVID-19 self-test in the U.S.
Good news for people hitting the road for the holidays. Gas prices keep falling. According to AAA, the national average for a gallon of regular is now $3.14. That is down 54 cents from last month and a low not seen since July of last year. Analysts at GasBuddy.com say the national average could once again dip below $3 a gallon by Christmas Eve. In Madison, the average price for a gallon of gas is $2.76.
About a year ago in the 608, we featured Ed Burns when he celebrated 15 years as a crossing guard in the Sauk Prairie School District. He told our Josh Sprider at that time, interacting with people, especially young folks, is his everything.
It's kind of interesting because you can tell a lot by how the kids are feeling just by, what day it is or or how they're crossing the street or whether they're responding to your hello or something like that.
And Ed recently had to step away from his duties as a crossing guard, and now that he's no longer on his corner at Grand and Park Avenues in Prairie du Sac, the community is looking to give back to him in a special way for his birthday. Grand Avenue Elementary is inviting folks to send birthday cards to Ed. He turns 81 on Thursday, December 29th. The school says Ed deserves all the love on his birthday after sharing so much positivity and making a difference in their community for so long. So here's the address for you. Send the cards addressing Ed on the front of the letter to Grand Avenue School. That's 225 Grand Avenue, Prairie du Sac. It's 53578, and they want you to get your cards there by the 28th so they can deliver the messages to him on his birthday. Again, his birthday is the 29th. We've also posted all this information at channel3000.com. When we come back, News 3 Now's 12 Days of Giving campaign continues.
After the break, how a local couple who would do anything for their daughters is getting some much-needed help.
And could we see more snow before Christmas? Julian with the complete look at the forecast next.
At Chevy, the holidays mean going places and doing things you love to do with friends and family. Visit your local Chevy dealer, and when you find your red tag, you find your deal. Then make the most of your time with the people who matter most. Find new moments, find new roads. Find your red tag and get $1,500 total cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, current Chevy owners get an additional $2,500 cash allowance. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
There's no place like home for the holidays, but it isn't quite the same when your house is cold and drafty. We want everyone to have the gift of a warm and comfortable home. So we're going to match the $500 energy tax credit with a $500 discount. But you have to call us before December 31st. 2023 is the year to stop freezing and start saving. So give yourself the gift that keeps on giving, because you keep saving.
USA Insulation. Hi, I'm Gary Cadalti, inviting you on a holiday vacations tour. Join me May 2nd through the 12th as we tour Scotland and Northern Ireland. This trip is rich with history, exploring places like the Edinburgh Castle and the Titanic Belfast Museum. We'll also enjoy the gorgeous scenery and friendly people of these two unique countries. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword WISC, for more information and to watch a travel show. Or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword WISC, for more information.
How do you use your energy? Inspiring a spark of creativity? Working hard to reach your goals? Thinking outside the box to bring your vision to life? At Alliant Energy, we're creating more clean, renewable energy every single day to power what matters to you. Because even during the most powerful moments in our lives, we're not thinking about power, we're thinking about a brighter future. Alliant Energy, powering beyond.
Wow, this is where you work now? Figured I deserved a more inspiring space. And with home values being up, I had a lot of equity. So I got a home equity line of credit from Summit, and voila, added a home office.
Took your business to the next level.
Hey, you two have been in your place for a couple years now. Any fun plans?
Well, we just finished a refi with Summit.
Really?
And the plan is to make a bunch of great memories.
We're going to use the savings to get a camper.
Whatever your goals, Summit Credit Union can help you use your home's equity to go get them.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. News 3 Now is helping make sure everyone has a happy holiday season with our 12 days of giving.
In partnership with SSM Health, we are teaming up with local nonprofits to answer the wishes of 12 area families. Our Andrew Banstra visited one of those families and has the story.
When we asked the Playing Field Daycare Center which families need a Christmas miracle, they didn't hesitate. They said the Kite family has been through it over the last 3 years, and everything they do is for their daughters. So News 3 Now made their wish come true.
Mid-pandemic, the Kite family lost the roof over their heads.
Yeah, so we had nothing but the clothes on our back. That was it. And we had to work our way up to where we are now.
After 6 months in a hotel, they found a home and enrolled their kids in daycare. But with 5 kids to care for and inadequate wages, they're struggling to make ends meet. So with the help of United Way, News 3 stepped in to help.
Pretty much whatever, whatever anyone can help out with,
The smallest of things.
Nothing's turned down, nothing's looked at as big or small, just whatever, comes from your heart.
Clothes, food, furniture, toiletries, the essentials. St. Vincent's de Paul brought that and then some.
You want to help me? Yeah, grab one of these. Yeah, come on. I didn't expect all of this to come. I thought it was maybe 1 or 2 boxes, but it's like 20. So yeah, couldn't complain. I'm a happy camper.
Those 20 boxes had every household essential you'd ever need. Pots and pans, blankets, towels, toilet paper, you name it.
We also provided vouchers to the Kite family for clothing for them and their kids, and we provided a voucher for bigger stuff like sofa, living room chair, kitchen table and chairs, and those types of things.
And of course, we couldn't forget the kids. They got toys and more to set them up for success.
I think this is how change happens, right? Like, it's little sprinkles of joy and happiness, right? Like, this is how we change the world.
The Kite family got a holiday miracle this year. And not only are they overwhelmed with presents, they're overwhelmed with joy.
I'm overwhelmed. I'm really overwhelmed. I've been cheesing for what, about 10 minutes now? Yeah, I'm really overwhelmed.
Our 12 Days of Giving continues tomorrow when we surprise a grandmother raising her 3-year-old grandson with some holiday magic.
Well, a chilly start to this work week, and it's only going to get chillier. Here's Julian with a complete look at the forecast.
And that's just kind of a graceful way to talk about what's going to be happening for the rest of the week, because, folks, we are watching for a winter storm, which is why we have a winter storm watch in effect for pretty much all of the upper Midwest. For areas into northern Iowa, west of Lone Rock, and southern parts of Minnesota, we're looking for the winter storm watch to be issued from Thursday midnight into Saturday morning at 6 a.m. For Dane County, County and areas east, this will be for 6 a.m. until Saturday a.m. for that area. Now, for areas near Chicago or northern Illinois, we're looking for that to start to go into effect. That'll be Thursday, 6 p.m. into Saturday morning. So let's go ahead and break down everything for us as simply as possible. So Thursday and Saturday are when we're watching for this winter storm to really start to take effect. However, impacts themselves will begin going into our Wednesday evening and Wednesday night. We're looking for opportunities of heavy snowfall, high winds that could be creating some whiteout conditions through many areas of southern Wisconsin. And yes, travel is going to be greatly impacted from that timeline. But that's just one piece of this whole week. We got to talk about for tonight as well. We are starting to see small developments of some light snow and even some flurries rolling into southern Wisconsin. And so for us here in Dane County, we could start to see a little bit of these impacts as we go into the rest of tonight. We're looking for a little band of some light snow, but it's going to be clearing up once we get into the overnight hours. And heading out the door for Thursday, sunshine and cold air is what's going to greet us as we get into our Tuesday morning and heading into our Tuesday afternoon. For the rest of Tuesday, you can see those temperatures are steady falling. Going to be into the lower teens and even the single digits by the time we get into 5 o'clock for tomorrow. So areas to the north and even around Dane County, be prepared for some serious cold conditions as we wind into our Wednesday. Single digits are going to be welcoming us once we get into the mid part of the week. And that's just going to be the start of a very cold trend for us. Trace amounts of snowfall is going to be expected from the small event we have for tonight, but then we got to talk about later into this week. So around Wednesday, we're going to be looking at a couple of still inconsistencies, but we are pretty confident we're going to be looking at some snow rolling in for us once we get into our Wednesday night. One run has around 5 o'clock for us, spreading throughout much of the upper Midwest. It is going to be consistent snowfall into our Thursday afternoon and especially heading into our Thursday night. However, for Friday, it starts to break up just a bit, and heading into our Christmas Eve, well, things are going to be moving out for us rather quickly. Our other run, well, here's the difference. We're looking at it to move in later for us. This will be Wednesday nights. We're looking for more widespread snowfall into the upper Midwest. Starting to get heavy once we get into our Thursday, especially Thursday afternoon and evening, and areas just near Chicago and closer to Lake Michigan could start to see a little bit of warmer air advection, which could bring in a bit of rain or even some wintry mixes. But snow in itself is really going to be impacting pretty much all of southern Wisconsin and northern Illinois from not only Thursday, but for Friday and into our Saturday morning before it clears out going into our Saturday afternoon. We could see around 6 to 9 inches for us here in southern Wisconsin and parts of Dane County. Areas to the north and near Minnesota, 9 to 12 is very possible, and especially for the eastern side of southern Wisconsin between Milwaukee and for the Chicago areas. But that's just for snow. We also have to watch for wind impacts, which could be near 50 or even stronger miles per hour throughout the course of this event, coming in from our Thursday into our Saturday. And behind it, we're looking at wind chill values, which will be significantly below zero into the 20 to 15, even lower degrees below zero. So expect your travel to be greatly impacted from this system as it continues to roll its way in from Wednesday night into our Saturday. Make your plans ahead of time because we're not looking for that to really start to ease up until we get into next week. Temperatures themselves will take a nosedive as we get into our Friday and Saturday. Folks, be prepared for the cold and be prepared to not really be going anywhere as we get ready to celebrate the holidays.
And coming up in sports, Badgers moving on up in the polls where Wisconsin sits in the latest top 25. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Hy-Vee Red Hot deals are super hot this Monday through Thursday. Whole boneless pork loin, only $1.77 a pound. That's Smart frozen vegetables, only 88 cents. And Simply Done bath tissue or paper towels, only $2.99. Only at Hy-Vee.
This is the house that Angels built. Attic Angels Senior Living Community is built on a foundation of authentic, local care. A framework for living well. Windows to take in the beautiful future. And it's crowned by the pride that one's home is one's castle. This is the house that Angels built. Attic Angel Community. Independent homes and 4 levels of assisted living. Built with the help of angels.
The holidays are for making memories, and you can count on Honda to help you make them. Whether it's in a capable Ridgeline adventurous CRV, a rugged passport, or a dynamic pilot. Start making memories of your own with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Call to donate today.
Need life insurance? Select Quote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And Select Quote found his wife Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
Select Quote. We shop, you save.
Hy-Vee Red Hot Deals are super hot this Monday through Thursday. Family-size Nabisco crackers, Oreos, or Chips Ahoy, only $1.99. 8-piece chicken tenders, only $5. And 3 pounds of Halos mandarin oranges, only $2.99. Only at Hy-Vee.
Tomorrow, bundle up the kids and enjoy a stroll and a story in the 608. Josh will preview a fun event featuring a beloved children's book and beautiful window art.
And a major winter storm moving in as we get closer to Christmas weekend. The timing and the totals from 4:30 to 7.
The team that was picked to finish 9th in the Big Ten is now 17th in the country. The Badger men's basketball team moved up 5 spots in the latest AP poll after their 22-point win over Lehigh. Wisconsin's one of 4 Big Ten teams ranked in the top 25. Now, UW will host Grambling State this Friday, and they'll debut their by-the-players uniforms. This year's look is a blackout with gold pinstripes. The Badgers will also wear them later in the season in recognition of Black History Month. Luke Fickell has released the depth chart ahead of the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, and as expected, there are some new names in starting roles. Gio Paez is in for Keanu Benton and Caden Johnson for Nick Herbig. And the quarterback question for the game, well, still hasn't been answered since Graham Mertz announced he's transferring. It will either be 5th-year senior Chase Wolf or freshman Miles Burkett. Probably both will play, but that's a decision Fickell isn't making.
I don't know that we've made a decision on that yet. That won't be my decision, let's be honest with you. Okay, that's kind of what I'm talking about being the head coach. I got the utmost respect for what these guys know and what gives us the best chance to win. I just like to sit down with them and you know, if they have any questions that things that I might see, they can ask. But the reality is it's going to be what they believe is best.
For the Packers to make the playoffs, they need 2 things to happen. Number 1, win out. And number 2, half the teams fighting for that last wild card spot ahead of them lose. The odds aren't in their favor, but there's a chance Green Bay gets in. And ahead of tonight's must-win game against the Rams, the Packers have released Sammy Watkins. The veteran wide receiver just played in 9 games this season, catching 13 passes for 206 yards. And Jonathan Taylor's season might be over in Indianapolis. The Colts running back left the game against the Vikings during the first series and didn't return. ESPN is reporting that Taylor is believed to have a high ankle sprain, and that seems likely he'll miss the final 3 games of the year. So not good news for the former Badger.
Well, for that whole franchise.
Yeah, very
rather
true.
Forgettable season.
Yeah.
Let's go to Julian for a final check of the forecast.
Well, folks, we have the alert date. It's in the forecast from Thursday to Saturday. That's really what we're going to be harping about and, of course, updating once we get back at 10.
All right. Busy week in weather once again. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.